Thanks for tuning in to another episode of King Mighty King. And I'm your double OG and guru of boxing, Ted King. Today we're going to be talking about the Edwin de Los Santos versus Shakur Stevenson fight. The fight was, of course, for the WBC Lightweight Championship of the World. So I did speak on Shakur Stevenson a while back regarding this Frank the Ghost Martin fight that didn't happen. So you have to clearly understand from the perspective of being a person who has boxed before what it takes, or the understanding that you must have to know, knowing that you have trouble with certain types of fighters. You would think that, okay, well, he's southpaw, Stevenson, that is, Shakur Stevenson, that is, and of course, de Los Santos, southpaw as well. Just like Frank the Ghost Martin, and oh, by the way, that one fighter, Gervonta Tank Davis, which is what this is all about. You know, gearing up to prepare to go into battle with a Gervonta Tank Davis. And so in preparation, you need to have actual live fight experience to be able to go into and live fight experience with a puncher. Not just a boxer, you know, that's going to walk around. Shakur is a boxer, we know that. And of course, he's a good boxer. And so your sustainability in terms of attrition and longevity in the ring is, of course, not to take a lot of punishment along the way and make as much money as you possibly can. And I subscribe to that. Okay, I don't subscribe because I've seen fighters after their career looking like shells of human beings. They look like shells. They look like, well, they're just in the body because of the nature of the sport. So, you know, you have to understand the nature of the sport. So I don't have a problem with the way these boxers oftentimes navigate themselves around certain opposition to put themselves in the best position as possible to make as much money as possible. And so, you know, you have to go back to that situation with Frank the Ghost Martin, understanding who in fact is the A side. Shakur Stevenson is the A side. Now, you offer me X amount of dollars. If I don't knock you out, you're going to get the decision, and I get a loss. So for a loss, give me 50%, you know, equal to take the loss. And that makes sense. You know, if you're going to, you know, because, you know, they have to now, your prestige as a fighter with an O, or excuse me, well, I should say, yeah, your prestige as a fighter with an O is much higher than yourself as a fighter with a 1 or a 2 loss in the loss column. Which really, you just have to kind of understand. You have to jumpstart your you just starting all over. You like starting from scratch again, like you've never had a fight, and that's just building yourself. You have to build yourself up, and this is what people don't understand with greatness. When it comes to greatness, is that greatness does that. They build themselves back up and get themselves in a position to be great. So, yeah. So today's boxers, they don't quite understand that because, you know, we have a situation where you have Floyd Mayweather, who still projects that, okay, I'm the greatest of all time. I've never lost a fight. Which, when we look back in the history of boxing, you look at Rocky Marciano, heavyweight champion of the world, never lost a fight either, but was never viewed as one of the all-time greats. That's a little bit different with Floyd. Floyd is a great. He's a great. He's in fact in his era the greatest, but that's in his era. And so, you know, without going into all this other stuff with Frank. I mean, with Floyd. Let's stay focused on Shakur here. All right. So Shakur, I thought had problems, and no one knows Shakur Stevenson more than Shakur Stevenson and his team. What father would give him? What type of father would give him trouble? And to ascend up to be in the face of boxing, essentially says you have to beat Gervonta Tank Davis. So we need to get ready for that. And is he? I don't think so. I don't think he's ready for Tank. That's just my opinion. Okay? And so that's the only thing I can do is voice my opinion, how I think it's going to play out. Right now, Shakur Stevens, even though he might be boxing or sparring with greats like Terrence Bud Crawford, he's getting beat up in there. If he's fighting, he ain't doing too well against Terrence Bud Crawford based on his performance, his last performance. Now that's another thing. People are always, you got these analysts that come up with, he was hurt. He had a bad hand, or he was this, that, and the other. He didn't, I don't know where they get all this knowledge from. I don't get it. I don't have it like that, okay? The only thing I have is I can just look, observe what's going on. And of course, I observe Shakur definitely navigating himself around to take on certain opposition. And of course, he's back. Basically, he's the fighter. So it's got to be coming from top rank. Bob Arum saying, this is what we're going to do. This is the person we're going to go after, and this is how we're going to, get everything together, and then, go after this here Gervonta Tank Davis for the big money. But also, your fighter if he's ready or not. That's the one thing about top rank. They are proficient in making sure they have the leverage in all aspects of the combative sport. Negotiation, the fight itself, it's money. It's, Bob Arum's been around for a long time. He's not been around just because, he don't know what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing and how to do it. And so that's what we saw with the Stevenson versus Edwin de Los Santos fight. De Los Santos was ready to go in there and mix it up. And I would even say he didn't lose the fight. At best, it was a draw based on, although you say, well, we're going to give Shakur a unanimous decision. Okay. And that's basically, how it worked. And that's the reason why Frank the Ghost Martin didn't want that fight. At 25%, I'm going to get an O. You going to take away my O? Give me 50% to take away my O. I'll take it, for the money. You going to get the decision if I don't knock you out. And you're going to run and you'll position yourself where I can't hit you to knock you out, which is, he's always said that. Shakur Stevenson always said that. He knows exactly. He's been boxing for a long time, and of course, defensive fighter he is. So, on that note, let's focus on De Los Santos. That's what I'm looking for. I'm going to look at De Los Santos and see what he's going to do on the right. But he got the notoriety. He was on the platform. People know who he is. And of course, if he fights, let's say he fights Frank the Ghost Martin, that'd be an interesting fight. Because both of them will come at it. Both of them is going to be active packed, and they're going to go at it. So that's what I have on the Stevenson situation. Stevenson, obviously, he's trying to get himself ready for Shakur. Not for Shakur. He's trying to get ready for Gervonta Tank Davis, and whether he's going to be successful or not, it's suspect right now. Whether he's going to be able to beat Tank Davis, because Tank is going to counter it. Okay, and that backing up, there's certain things that you have to do for that kind of situation. Okay, with that being said, I'm going to the next one, and the next one is that up and coming fight that I'm really interested in. Ooh, Till next time, keep your hands up. I'm Ted King.